Hi everyone, I'm Nicholas. Welcome back to another episode. Today is very exciting because we are going to go through a project analysis on One Marina Gardens. Wow, finally, now we are going to the core central region. And this is a very exciting episode because Marina is going to be a new township similar to Lentor. And this is the very first land plot in the Marina area. But what I want to share with you today is no shit one. We're going to go and talk about very difficult discussions, which is a lot of people might have this in mind is, wow, if I buy Marina, is it confirmed lose money? Why do I say that? It's because if we look at the first few launches in Marina, actually we have three. Today we will just deep dive and compare with three previous condos, which is the sale. The sale is actually one of the best selling, best performing condos in the Marina area. In fact, this is the very first condo in Marina area, TOP in 2008. So as you can see, we have a total of 1,138 transactions which are profitable and 233 unprofitable transactions. So when these kind of numbers come to us, right, a lot of consumers will be like, wow, yeah, we can see there's a lot of profitable, but there's also a lot of unprofitable transactions. And can we buy this or not? So let me explain why this is the case. So Marina, TOP 2008, but then this is also quite some time already. And then there was a market cycle. Most of the people who didn't make money or in fact lose money were the people who entered around 2010, 2011. This was one of the peaks in the previous market. And that's why they couldn't recover, unfortunately. And that's why we have so many unprofitable transactions here at the sale. Next, we have Marina Bay Residences, the second condo project in the Marina area. Total, we have 289 profitable transactions, 86 unprofitable ones. So once again, the ratio isn't that great. Of course, the best kind of condos would be almost 100% profitable transactions. But being a 2010 project means that a lot of the units were also purchased during quite a boom time, which is mostly 2010, 2011, all this period. These are market highs. And that's why there are so many unprofitable during when people bought during this period. Whereas if you enter in a lower market, then yes, you are quite safe. Then the last condo we have here is Marina One, TOP 2017. This is the newest one. Marina One is a very interesting project because this is a collaboration between Singapore government and Malaysia government. Very iconic project, TOP 2017. But this is probably one of the worst performing condos because 23 transactions profitable. We have more unprofitable transactions at 29. So in today's analysis, I'm going to go through with you why this is the case, why there are so many unprofitable transactions in Marina, and whether can we still buy One Marina Gardens. So don't worry, I will go and deep dive about this. So first thing we want to ask ourselves, right, is who buys Marina area? Will you buy? Will you stay there? Or will you buy to invest? So most Singaporeans who buy Marina area, right, are usually investors, people who buy but they don't want to stay there. They probably want to buy there because why? Very good tenant notes over here because it's the CBD area. Your tenant profiles will be good. People working in the investment bank, people working in very high-tech companies, they are working in the Marina area. So they probably, because they have very long working hours, especially in the investment banking area, so they just go back home at 2, 3 a.m. They just take a bath and then next morning, 7 a.m. they're off to work. Then your unit will become very, very good because very minimal wear and tear since these people work so hard. That's why they have no choice but to stay at Marina area. So investors like this kind of profile because wear and tear is at the minimal and you have good tenant profiles means you probably can get your monthly rental without any issue. So I want to emphasize people who like to buy Marina area tends to be investors, not for own stay, because if you ask yourself, you ask Singaporeans around you, will you stay in Marina? Chances is you probably won't. Why? Because Marina area, you don't have schools. Schools is something that will appeal to families with kids. Imagine this, imagine you have kids and you need to send your kids to school in the morning. And you need to send them to, outside Marina area. And by the time you come back for work, you need to pay ERP. So then this is something that I don't think most Singaporeans would want to do. And that's why for the family profiles, not many people would be looking to buy marina for own stay. Of course, if you are just working professionals, young couples, yes, you probably would enjoy the marina lifestyle. But the older generation, they need things like schools, they need things like your amenities, your hawker centers, things like that, which marina, for now, we don't have that. That's why I don't think own stay people would like marina that much lah. So having said that, we'll go straight into One Marina Gardens analysis proper. So my name is Nicholas. Welcome to this channel. If you are new here, I mainly do real estate insights. I provide real estate strategies to my viewers out here. So if this is something that you are interested in to learn, please subscribe to this channel. It will really help my channel to grow. Okay, so these are some perspectives of One Marina Gardens. Once again, this is the very first project in the Marina South area. Later, I will go through with you how many land plots are there. It's quite exciting because this is the only land plot that is directly linked to the Marina South MRT. So who's the developer? The developer is Kingsford. They just did a launch of Chuan Park, which was very successful in November. Later, I'll also go through with you for Kingsford, since they're developer, what kind of strategies would they probably use for their pricing strategies and their balloting day? What can we do to better equip ourselves if you are thinking of getting a unit at One Marina Gardens? So once again, we are at District 1. Plot ratio 5.6 is quite high. Key things to note is that on the level 1, we have your childcare center, shops, restaurants, facilities, all this. So for this area, there are, I think, total of 5 land plots. This is the very first one. All of these land plots, level 1 will be retail elements. Why? Because they want to ensure people can walk through the different land plots and have amenities there so that people can live, work and play in the marina area. So for One Marina Gardens, we have total 937 units. This is a 99 years leasehold project because it's a GLS project. Expected TOP 2029. And car park lots 445, which is okay. I think that's about 50% thereabout. But then we are also directly connected to the MRT. And most of the people here would probably be tenants. Usually they don't drive. So I think this ratio is still quite okay. So this is the location map. As I mentioned, we are the very first land plot over here, number 1. So this is the GLS of from the government. They are selling all these land plots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these are GLS, and this is going to be a new township. Key thing to note is that what is so exciting about this area is this is Gardens by the Bay. Yeah, pardon my bad handwriting. But why is this exciting? Because as we know, Gardens by the Bay is one of our national garden or national park. And having this as your permanent view with the MBS over here, these are the units that should be highly sought after because if you like the marina area, you're probably someone that's going for the views. So you have both the Gardens by the Bay and the Marina Bay Sands as a permanent view. I think this is quite exciting. If you are buying this, as a trophy project, this is something that you are looking at. But what I think is exciting about this is that we are also directly linked to the MRT. So your future tenants, if any, this is the project to look out for instead of the other 4 because it's closest to the MRT lah. Another exciting feature we should know is that all these land plots, these are white sites. What does white site means is that government hasn't finalized what kind of land plots are these. Are these going to be just residential or are these going to be mixed development? It's not finalized yet. So government can do anything about it, with future planning. And this is quite exciting because as by the time they launch all these land plots, I think One Marina Gardens will also have this kind of capital appreciation lah. So this is the site plan of One Marina Gardens. Let me just orientate you a bit. This is Gardens by the Bay. Let me put a G over here. These units facing here will have your bay view. But let me caution you is that right now, while you get the bay view, in future, it might be blocked because over here, these are also future land plots that would be launched. Then units facing over here, this will be future land plot also. So likely it will be block in the future. If you're going for all these units over here, you can consider the lower floors since you'll be blocked anyway. But if you are looking at the Gardens by the Bay view, then of course I think the high floor makes a lot of sense, and that's why the most premium 4-bedroom unit is over here at the corner, which gives you the Gardens by the Bay and the Marina Bay Sands view. This is the distribution chart of One Marina Gardens. We have 2 blocks in total, 30-story and 45 stories in total. Sorry, 31 stories and 45 stories in total over here. So 2 blocks in total. This is the breakdown of the unit mix of One Marina Gardens. As you can see, 1 bedroom and the 2 bedroom is the majority over here at 70%. 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom only makes up about 30%. This is, I think, quite strategy of the developer, because right now people who will buy Marina area, most likely they are investors. And that's why 1 and 2 bedroom being the majority makes a lot of sense here, because I feel that the demand for the 3 and the 4 bedroom will not be as high. One good thing that I see over here is the estimated maintenance fee is very attractive. 1 bedroom less than $300, 2 bedroom less than $400 for a CBD project. Actually, this is quite attractive. In fact, the 3-4 bedroom is very attractive in terms of maintenance fee. So yeah, this is important because if you're an investor, then all these maintenance fees are cost to you. So these are key things to highlight, and it's good that it's low. So right now, let's go straight into the 1 bedroom analysis. We have a lot to cover today. So 1 bedroom, what is the most important thing to buyers? Actually, it's rental yield, because as I mentioned, over here, most people are not going to buy 1 bedroom for own stay. They're going to buy to rent out. So rental yield will be the most important consideration for most buyers and most homeowners here. So today we'll be looking at Tanjong Pagar as a case study, because Marina area, the 1 bedroom are very big. So we are looking at Tanjong Pagar because they have a huge variance of layouts, the smaller units and the bigger layouts. So today we're just going to deep dive into Altes, one of the projects over here, and then the Cliff, which is somewhere over here. My apologies for not including it in the picture, but they are all in the vicinity of Tanjong Pagar MRT. So the Cliff completed in 2011 over here, as I written down here. Key thing to note is that the 1 bedroom starts from 400 to 500 square feet. Altes 2014, which is also about there, 1 bedroom starts from 500 to 600 square feet. So there's a slight difference, but what we want to understand is that these differences in the square footage of the unit, how would that affect the rental eventually? So for Altes, 500 to 600 square feet, you can see over here, I've already put out the filter nicely. The PSF works out to be about $8 to $9 PSF for the rental. This is all I need to highlight for this. You don't need to look at the rental, because the rental will not tell us so much. Then the next one, we have the Cliff. Cliff is slightly smaller at 400 to 500 square feet. The key thing to note is that the Cliff, the PSF for the rental tends to be higher. So what does this tell us? Smaller units actually command higher rental PSF, which kind of makes sense because the location of the units are pretty similar. So if the unit is smaller, the PSF for the rental will also be higher. So this is a very important takeaway I want you to have, because Tanjong Pagar and Marina should behave about the same way, since this is close to the CBD, close to people's workplace. So right now, since Marina area, we have Marina 1 residences over here, we have Marina Bay residences over here, and we have the Sail. These 3 projects that we mentioned previously. But I want to focus on Marina Bay residences because the 1 bedroom over here is 700 to 800 square feet. And from here, we can see that the PSF in terms of rental is about $7 to $8 PSF. Then, One Marina Gardens, our 1 bedroom is only at 400 to 500 square feet. So this means that, knowing from Tanjong Pagar's case study, since One Marina Gardens is significantly smaller in size, we can expect rental to be about $10 to $12 PSF. Then we work backwards, right, by multiplying the PSF to the actual square footage. We have 420, we have 431. the rental we can expect from One Marina Gardens is about 4,002 to 5,001. So now, why do we have to do this to find out the expected rental? As I mentioned previously, we do not have any marina one bedroom that is around 400 to 500 square feet now. So that's why it's a bit hard to gauge how would the rental be like if we use other methods. So this will be one of the most direct ways we can guess or expect how the rental will be like for One Marina Gardens. So knowing this, right, why is this important? Because once we know the rental, then we can work how would the rental yield be like for One Marina Gardens homeowners. So developer has already announced the starting prices. So for one bedroom, it's about 1.17 million. Now, taking the average rental, because previously I mentioned expected rental is about 4,002 to 5,001. Let's take an average for this. Assume the average rental is about 4,650. The rental yield, if you are so lucky you buy the entry price of 1.17 million, you will get a rental yield of 4.8%. Of course, we know 4.8% is actually pretty decent. We want to also know, in Marina Bay area, what is the average rental yield that investors are getting. So the sale, they're getting 4.5% rental yield. Marina Bay residences 4.3% and Marina One residences 3.6%. Average in Marina area, 4.1%. So why is this average important? Because if there's a difference between our actual rental yield now and the average rental yield in Marina area, this average rental yield is probably what an investor is looking at when they're entering Marina area. Meaning, if I want to enter Marina, I'm expecting 4.1% of rental yield. That's why I want to buy Marina area. If right now, One Marina Gardens is giving the current owner 4.8% rental yield, then actually the current owner is able to command a higher price in order to still achieve this 4.1% rental yield. So maybe let me go through how does rental yield works, right? So from here, rental yield is actually equals to 12 months rental divide by purchase price times 100. And then that gives us the rental yield. If rental stays the same, and then rental yield, we are looking at 4.1% over here, then the only thing that can change is actually price over here. And that's why if you are able to buy cheap in One Marina Gardens, the expected potential capital appreciation can be quite substantial over here. Because why? Your next buyer is willing to pay a higher price because they are just expecting about 4.1% of rental yield in the Marina area. So that's why I came up with this table. Depending on when's your queue, your purchase price may differ. If your queue is early enough, you get to enter at the best entry price at 1.17. Congratulations. Your rental yield, you can expect maybe about 4.8%. And you can also probably aim for $190,000 of capital appreciation while collecting the rental. But if your queue is not that great and you can only buy a unit much later, all the way up to maybe 1.36 million, this is the time when you will achieve the expected rental yield in Marina location. So does that mean that you cannot buy? No. It means that if you are looking for capital appreciation at this entry price, maybe it's a bit difficult. But at 4.1% is still not bad. Later we'll go through with you why 4.1% is still good and how does this compare with the rest of the Singapore in terms of the locations. Another thing I want to highlight right here is that as you can see, the sale and Marina Bay residences, they are doing quite well in the rental yield area, while Marina One residences, the rental yield is only at 3.6%. This actually gives us a lot of insights why Marina One has so many unprofitable transactions. Because once again, remember, just now I mentioned that most of the buyers who are buying Marina area, they are investors, right? So investors, the most important thing is rental yield. So once again, if everybody is expecting 4.1% of rental yield, and Marina One right now is only 3.6% rental yield, what must change? Because rental probably can't change as much. So the only thing that can change is that the price must go down so that the rental yield goes up. And that's why for Marina One residences, you see so many unprofitable transactions because when sellers want to sell, no buyer wants to buy at the price that they're asking or even at their break-even price. And that's why any sellers who are serious enough, they have to sell low enough such that a potential buyer see the value of entering and potentially can get closer to this 4.1% rental yield. So there's a reason why, some Marina One residences or some Marina transactions are unprofitable. This is the case. Okay, so right now we want to compare based on this 4% rental yield. How does this compare to other regions of Singapore? So firstly, we have the OCR. I've taken all these projects. These are kind of newly TOB projects since 2023, and we want to understand how is the rental yield different from Marina area. Of course, one key thing is because this is an OCR project, then your purchase price definitely is much lower. Florence Residence, this is in Hougang Kovan area. Purchase 838K, rental 26. Key thing is the rental yield is lower than 4%. This is in District 19. Treasure and Tampines, this is in Tampines, rental yield 3.8%. Affinity at Serangoon, also District 19, 3.7%. So OCR, your rental yield is at lower than 4%. Of course, if your budget is less than 1 million, then these are the units that you should be looking at. But your rental yield will not be as good as Marina as a location. And that's why some investors, they really like to rent in the CBD. And rental yield is not the full story also, because remember just now I mentioned buying an investment and rent in CBD area, the good thing is your tenant profile tends to be very good. Your tenants in the OCR regions, these people may work from home, and that's why they don't mind staying in the OCR area. They don't need to be in a city. They can save some money since they don't need to go to the city that often. And if they were to stay at their rental place for too long, then your wear and tear will also be higher. And that's why some of the investors, they like to buy CBD properties and rent out, because their tenants tend to be very busy, need to be at the office the whole day, wear and tear is at a minimal, and then the rental is good, rental yield is great. Yeah, so this is some of the mindset that they have for investors in the Marina and CBD area. So how is our rental yield compared to the RCR area? Avenue South, this is near your Outram Park area, 3.6%. Normanton Park, RCR, 3.5% for the one bedroom. Sterling Residence, this is at Queenstown, 3.8%. Once again, this is also lower than 4%. And Marina, we are easily achieving more than 4% of rental yield. Then once again, this is Marina. We want to compare ourselves with the three projects that are currently in the market. The sale obviously is the best rental yield. Why is this the case? Also because this is the oldest project in the Marina area. So this is a 99 years project. Don't forget there might potentially be lease decay issue further down the road. So this is another key thing to take note. Marina Bay Residences, 4.3%, pretty decent. And of course, we have Marina One, which is a bit disappointing at 3.6%. Why do they have such a bad rental yield? Is because the purchase price is too high. The size is too big. It's too big, but the rental is not able to command too high. And that's why then the rental yield, no choice, it's on the lower side. Then now, for One Marina Gardens, this is the conclusion for the one bedroom. This is the same table that I plot just now. Key thing here is buy as cheap as possible, because if you buy the cheapest, then your potential capital appreciation will also be the highest, rental yield will also be the highest. So whether or not do you want to keep it as a rental property or do you want to flip it, buying the cheapest will allow you to reap the best returns. So this is my conclusion for the one bedroom. So in a nutshell, can we buy the one bedroom? I think you really can, because if you enter low enough, your rental yield is actually quite attractive at more than 4%. Of course, if the entry price is more than 1.36 million, then yes, I think if you are looking to buy to flip, might be a bit difficult. Rental wise, if it's lower than 4.1%, may not make as much sense. These are things that I will keep in mind. And also during your queue, you can see if the purchase price is a bit too high, more than 1.36, maybe you can think of trying for the two bedroom maybe. or just walking away in total lah. Next, we have the 2-bedroom analysis. Okay, this 2-bedroom, we're going to use the same kind of concept. Firstly, we're going to compare Tanjong Pagar because once again, Marina, the 2-bedroom layouts are very big. So let's try to understand from Tanjong Pagar, how can we apply it to Marina area. So the Cliff 2011, 2-bedroom starts from 700 to 800 square feet. Altez 2014 starts from 900 to 1,000 square feet on the bigger side. So for Altez, right here, I took the example of the 1,001 to 1,002 square feet because these are latest transactions. As you can see, the PSF rental transactions is between $6 to $7. Then for the Cliff, at smaller 700 to 800 square feet, the PSF transacted is about $7 to $8. So once again, same concept. The smaller the unit, the higher the PSF in terms of rental, which actually makes a lot of sense. Then next, we look at Marina Bay area, specifically Marina Bay residences. This is the big unit, 1,001 to 1,002 square feet. As we can see, $6 to $7 PSF transacted. Then One Marina Gardens, actually, we have too many 2-bedroom layouts to look at. I'm not going to go through all of the layout. I'm just going to generally talk through with you. These layouts are what you can expect from a mass market layouts in the recent launches, so no like surprises, things like that. These are all very efficient layouts. Key difference is just whether or not the kitchen is an enclosed kitchen or an open concept kitchen, whether they have a study over here. Bathrooms, most of them do not come with the window, so that's pretty standard. But kitchen, as I mentioned, this is tucked away. This is a kitchenette. So these are some key differences lah. And also, most of these are dumbbell, but this is a conventional layout, which means size might be on the bigger side. But the key thing that I want to share with you is that all these sizes are between 600 to 700 square feet, which is almost half the size of what we can expect from Marina Bay residences. And how would that affect us in terms of the expected rental in One Marina Gardens? So before we go into that, once again, these are more layouts from the 2-bedroom at OMG. You have study over here. So the good thing is the layouts are all quite efficient. I think it's a good idea that they came out with all these smaller sizes in 2 bedrooms. If you ask me, are they very small? Honestly, they are not super small because these are all layouts that are accepted in the OCR and the RCR regions, and these layouts sell very well. In fact, you see over here, if you want to have storage, home shelter, you have it over here as well. So I believe tenants, they can definitely accept, especially if a tenant is really going to work Monday to Friday and they have very long working hours. Honestly, size of the unit may not be that super important. They rather pay a cheaper rental just for the location. And One Marina Gardens can fulfill that gap for both the tenants, because this means cheaper rental, and also the gap for investors who can finally enter Marina area because the sizes are smaller. So once again, let me take this 646 square feet. This is the smallest 2-bedroom in One Marina Gardens. Being almost half the size of Marina Bay residences, we can once again expect the expected rental PSF to be between $10 to $12. This would mean expected rental is between $6,500 to $8,000. This is a huge range. And how would that be like in terms of rental yield? So before I go into the table, let me go through again for the rental yield in Marina Bay for the 2 bedrooms specifically. The sale, 3.7%, so this is already lower. So the 2 bedrooms in general in Marina area is lower in terms of rental yield. Marina Bay residences, 3.8%, Marina One residences, 3.7%. So Marina One in this instance actually is quite competitive with the rest of the Marina condos. Average rental yield, 3.75%. So how are we doing with this 3.75% average rental yield in Marina? One Marina Gardens, 2 bedrooms starts from 1.8x million. I'm going to be a bit more conservative. Let me take 1.9 million as a starting price. Average rental from the range of rental that I came up with, we're going to look at about 7.2k, thereabout. So with this, you are looking at a 4.6% rental yield. Then from this rental yield difference, right, 4.6% and the Marina average of 3.75%, this will give us a gap that a future buyer might be willing to pay $420,000 in terms of capital appreciation to match this average rental yield in the Marina area. Of course, all of this is just prediction. I cannot be for sure that this will definitely be 7.2K, but based on the case studies that we had for Tanjong Pagar, we came up with all these values like the average rental, and also judging from the rental yield for the 2 bedrooms in Marina area, if market accepts a 3.75% rental yield in this location, then actually One Marina Gardens have a lot of space to grow in terms of prices. But what does this mean to you? Okay, if your queue is good, you enter at this price, congratulations, fantastic buy. Because if you want to buy and hold as a rental property, you are getting 4.6% rental yield confidently, and you're definitely doing much better than your neighbors and your competitors at the sale, Marina Bay Residences and Marina One Residences. But if you want to buy to flip, even better, you can secure a tenant. As you rent it out, you list your property up for sale. Not only are you getting this rental yield in your pocket, you can potentially earn up to this expected capital appreciation. So it's a win-win strategy. Of course, if it takes some time to sell, no worries, your rental yield is good. You don't have to worry so much. Next, of course, if your queue is not that fantastic, from 1.9 million, maybe the remaining units are on a higher floor, better facing, you are left with $2.1, $2.3 million. How would that turn out for you? At $2.1 million, your rental yield is still at 4.1%. More than 4% is still better than your competitors at the other marina condos. And you can still expect about 220K in terms of capital appreciation. Of course, then the last one would be if your entry price is at 2.3 million, then yes, you are at where the market accepts in terms of the rental yield, then your potential capital appreciation may be only about 20K. So this means maybe you can just hold it as a rental property. It is still good because this is what the market accepts in the Marina area at 3.75%. So up to 2.3 million, I think is still a very safe entry price to enter at One Marina Gardens, honestly. Because if you look at the latest launches, 2-bedroom, a lot of them are selling up to 2 million, 2.1 million, and these are not even CCR launches. So right now, you have One Marina Gardens, you have a new township. New township, you are like MRT, this is Marina area, this is CCR. Just a bit more, even up to 2.3 million, I think this is quite a good buy. Because if the market goes up along with the government plans, then honestly, you have so much more potential in terms of the capital appreciation potential. This chart right here is really just based on what we have in the market right now, based on this rental yield in the Marina Bay locale, independent of what the government is planning for the Marina area. If the government plans out well and people start coming in, for sure, your capital appreciation potential will definitely increase. So this is something that we need to take note. Right now, I'm just being very conservative, just taking on the current rental yield and see how would that affect your rental yield and your potential capital appreciation. So right now, let's look at the 3-bedroom. For 3-bedroom, the last part that I'm going to emphasize mostly will be the 3-bedroom dual key. And this is a very interesting layout. So usually dual key, if you listen to my previous analysis, for the OCR and the RCR regions, I usually don't recommend people to look at the dual key because in the OCR, RCR areas, most of the buyers who buy dual key, likely they will stay at the bigger unit and then rent out the studio for passive income. But to be very frank, I don't think that's a very smart move, and I don't think in terms of demand, a lot of people are going to do that. So that's why I don't recommend dual key layouts in the OCR and RCR regions. However, today is different. Today we're in the CCR area, we're in Marina area. Once again, Marina area, who buys Marina? Investors buy Marina. Dual key actually makes a lot of sense here. Why? Because right here we have the 2-bedroom and here we have your 1-bedroom. This dual key unit, you can rent out this 2-bedroom as 1 unit and the 1-bedroom as 1 unit. So based on the expected average rental that we got from previously, right? Together you can expect about 10K to 13K in total. But what does this mean to you? Assuming your entry price is about 2.75 million, this is about 2007, 2008 PSF, I presume, your rental yield can be a whopping of 5%. I think this is actually very spectacular. So if you're an investor, you have this kind of budget and you just want to own a rental property, I think this is actually quite a no-brainer. But I need to say first, selling a dual key, yes, it may not be easy. Why? Because at this quantum, this is not a quantum that every Singaporean can afford as an investment property, because most Singaporeans will be maybe husband own one property, wife own another property, and then one for own stay, one for investment. 2.75 is not a quantum where one person can own as an investment property, then own stays another property. So yeah, this is a very honest review. I think exiting, it might be difficult. You might need to hold some time just because your entry price is a bit higher. But while holding and trying to sell in the future, your rental yield is very solid. 5%. I don't think I've seen so much of this kind of rental yield in today's market, which is legal. Don't talk about like co-living don't talk about those illegal partitions, things like that. 5% rental yield, this is actually achievable just because this is your 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom combined. And you are in the marina area. Then of course, if the whole marina township takes off, you can expect even better rental and better capital appreciation. So this 3-bedroom dual key, if you do have the budget, I highly recommend this Then next, we are going to go through the 3-bedroom compact, 3-bedroom premium, and also the 4-bedroom premium. So for this segment, I will not emphasize so much because honestly, I think the developer also didn't build too many of these layouts. Reason being, I don't think the demand is going to be as strong for these layouts. Why? As I mentioned previously, I don't think that many Singaporeans will like to stay here. So for 3-bedroom compact, 3-bedroom premium, 4-bedroom premium, people who buy here and with this kind of budget usually will probably buy for own stay. Marina may not be your top choice, and that's why I will not spend so much time going through like layouts, things like that. I'm just putting it here so that you can see for yourself and refer. So for 3-bedroom, we have these 3 layouts over here. Then in terms of the facing, the 1012, this will be facing the Bay View. The 980 also Bay View. Then the 904 square feet is the one with the Gardens by the Bay view But of course, being over here, this will not be the best facing for your Gardens by the Bay because you are kind of blocked by your neighbors over here. So all this will be a bit blocked, but at least you do get a bit of the lap pool if you are low floor enough In terms of layout, I think honestly, they are all quite good. It's all quite regular shape. Of course, some of the walkways are a bit longer, things like that. But to be very frank, if you are a buyer in the Marina locale, you can take a look at the other Marina Bay 3 bedrooms. First thing is, the size of the other 3 bedrooms are bigger, the sale being the smallest. But what I want to highlight is that because they are bigger, the latest transaction you can see, these are over 2.6 million. Most of them are at about 3 over million. Yet, One Marina Gardens, the smallest 3-bedroom, is set to launch at $2.45 million, which means if you compare this with the sale, and the sale is already about 2008, it's coming to about 20 years old, you are actually able to buy a brand new 3-bedroom in Marina area at an old price. So I think this is no-brainer if you are looking to buy a good value 3-bedroom in Marina area. Honestly, pricing is very attractive just because the sizes are smaller. Even though it's smaller, these layouts are actually very functional. All the bedrooms can fit your queen-size bed, living room can fit your huge sofa, dining can put a 6-seater. All the things that we expect are there. Okay, maybe this 904 square feet, your kitchen does not come with a window, but maybe it's not super important to you since, downstairs you have level 1, you have amenities, your eateries, things like that. Maybe you don't even need to cook. But other than that, I think the layout is quite good. Nothing much to complain about. Maybe okay the master bath here do not come with a window. But other than that, I think it's pretty solid. So key thing, the 3-bedroom, if you are looking bang for the buck, you want to enter Marina area simply because you like Marina and you want to buy something cheaper than your neighbors, than your competitors, then One Marina Gardens 3-bedroom really is like buying cheaper than the sale 3-bedroom. Yes, it's smaller, but at least bang for the buck. So I think actually this 2.45 is also quite bang for the buck, because why? Right now, if you look at OCR and some of the RCR, right, the 3-bedroom already exceeded this kind of price range. So yeah, once again, I think it's quite bang for the buck lah. But whether or not you're buying for own stay, I leave it up to you. 3-bedroom premium, we only have these two, right? Let me see. We have three. We have three total layouts. So I've already indicated here. These are huge. Look at the living. Wow. Wide frontage over here. And 6-seater, everything's okay. Of course, with the premium, key thing will be you got your yard, your WC, your home shelter. These are the things lah. The layout, I would say, are all quite good because the living all comes with the landscape layout. One good thing is also that both are facing Gardens by the Bay. So these are your biggest layouts one of the biggest layouts in One Marina Gardens. That's why developer is giving you facing the Gardens by the Bay view, which is something very special because it will be here to stay. Unlike the Bay view, most likely next time it will be blocked by other condos or other developments. Gardens by the Bay view, I don't think it will be blocked, to be very frank. So this facing will definitely be, I would say, the most expensive facing in One Marina Gardens. Then this is the 3-bedroom P3. This is the only one that would not be facing the Gardens by the Bay, will be facing the future land plot. So this one I would say I would avoid, simply because if you are buying a 3-bedroom, a big 3 over here, please do get the Gardens by the Bay view, because this is a selling point, and I think your future buyers, they want that kind of view. And to be very frank, if you look at your The Sale, One Marina, Marina One and Marina Bay Residences, all those units with better profits or so at a higher price, all these units are usually the ones with better view, be it Marina Bay Sands, be it your sea view, things like that. They all come with a good view. So Marina buyers, they all love views. That's why if you are paying a quantum at this range, I really recommend going for the Gardens by the Bay view. So out of the 3 premium, obviously this stack would be the best because it's the most unblocked over here. So 1068 square feet, this layout, this stack is the one that I will shortlist of all the 3-bedroom premium. Then we have the last layout to go through, the 4-bedroom. 4-bedroom only have one layout. This is a 4-bedroom premium at 1647 square feet. If I haven't mentioned, this is a harmonized project. Maybe a bit late into the analysis, but it's a harmonized project, meaning your aircon latch is not part of the layout, which means this 1647 actually will probably be 1007, 1008 square feet in a pre-harmonized project. So is it small? Honestly, it's not small. This 4-bedroom is massive. You see, you can have an 8-seater over here. Living is a huge landscape, and the balcony is at the living area. And I think this is very important because Marina One, if you look at it, if you are in the market for Marina One 4-bedrooms, half of these layouts actually have their balcony in the bedrooms, which most of the buyers don't prefer. And the good thing for One Marina Gardens is that all the balconies in the living, where most people prefer. And even if you want to sell next time, it's much easier to sell. And the good thing, the developer has done it right. This is the best stack, the best facing, because right over here is your Gardens by the Bay with your MBS over here, and it's unblocked. And this view is definitely here to stay. So this 4-bedroom premium, yes, it has the most premium facing. It has to be because it's the biggest layout. And I think regardless the price point, you will definitely want to enter, because this means that you can own a piece of this trophy project that has Gardens by the Bay at your balcony. Okay, then let's compare how does OMG 4-bedroom compare with the other 4-bedrooms in the vicinity. The Sale 4-bedroom at 2,000 over square feet, Marina Bay also 2,000 over square feet, Marina One also 2,000 over square feet. Key thing to note is that the entry prices over here, not cheap, more than 4 million, 5 million, even $6 million. Once again, One Marina Gardens, you are able to come in about the Sale entry price, and that means you are able to own a brand new 4-bedroom at the price of a 20-year-old 4-bedroom price. And the size difference actually not that much, because once again, I mentioned to you, if pre-harmonized, this will probably be about 1,008 square feet. You are just missing out 200 square feet compared to the Sale. And if you were to scrutinize the sale and the rest of their layouts, I'm sure you can see some of the irregular layout, not very well utilization of the space lah. So I don't think you are any shortchange in this aspect. And that's why if somehow you're in the market to buy a 4-bedroom, you want to have Gardens by the Bay at your balcony, then I think this is really a very special one for you. Okay, then let me run through with you for the balloting day. If you are someone looking at OMG One Marina Gardens, what are the key things you need to take note before you enter the booking room? This is really, really important because I can expect, especially for the 1 and 2 bedroom, this will be highly contested. So first thing, when you reach, I would recommend you reaching half an hour earlier on your booking day. Go to the respective agencies or even the show fair, because right now developer hasn't announced how the booking is going to be like. So go down to your booking location. First thing, find out the level 2 and level 3, what is the price increment. Why do I say that? Because for Kingsford, previous developments like Chuan Park, their level 2 and level 3, the price increment was quite substantial. Why is this the case? It's because they wanted to put a very attractive starting from price to attract people, but they also can't possibly sell all of these at very affordable prices. So they use the level 2 as a hook, as the cheapest price, and then they increase substantially on the level 3 units, so on and so forth. So do find out the level 2 and level 3 price increment, because that will give you a very good understanding what would the actual prices be like. So this is step number 1, find out about that. Number 2, after you find out about that, find out the price increment per floor. Meaning if you are looking at a level 5 unit, okay, after you find out the level 2, level 3, find out level 3 to level 4 to level 5. Per floor jump, what is the premium? If the premium is less than 1%, all the way to top floor, meaning it's consistently all the way to top floor, per floor jump is less than 1%, honestly, coming in at a top floor unit, I think is still quite bang for the buck, because you're not paying too much. In terms of rental yield, it should not differ too much, especially for a 1 to 2 bedroom. For a 3-4 bedroom, even no-brainer. Just go for the high floor units, because these high floor units are the ones that will give you the best view. So Kingsford has a history of loading very low premium per floor. So going for a high floor unit actually makes a lot of sense here. But once again, as an investor, if you're going for the 1-2 bedroom, as I mentioned, your most important thing is to buy as cheap as possible. Only if your queue doesn't allow you to buy the cheapest, then no choice, you go for the slightly higher floor. I think it makes sense, especially if you're going for certain stacks with currently bay views. Then actually it makes sense to go a bit higher, because you probably can rent out your unit much faster than your neighbor if you do command a better view. Third thing, which is the last thing, is to find out the price premium in the facing. So for example, if you are looking to buy a level 5 unit, then for the same 1 or 2 bedroom, find out all the different facing of level 5. What is the premium of the different facing? For Kingsford, the premium for the best facing to the least desirable facing is about 5%. So meaning if it's a unit facing the future development, the plot number 2, compared to, let's say, Gardens by the Bay, that's the best view. If the difference is more than 5%, then I would recommend just going for the second land plot, the least desirable facing units, because it's not worth paying more than 5% premium. But the flip side is true. For example, if Gardens by the Bay premium is only 3-4%, then I think going for Gardens by the Bay view is much more worth it, and I urge you to go for that. So these are the key strategies I have for the balloting day, and I think they're super important, and you should really discuss with your agents when you go for your balloting, because the worst thing is you have a good queue number. You go into the booking room, you actually has a lot of options to choose, but you don't know what to choose because you have too many options, and in the end, you pay a higher price, you need make lower gains than your neighbors who bought at a later queue. This is the worst thing that can happen. So I'm here to help you to make sure you don't make that mistake. Do discuss with your agent, walk through all these things with them. If they are also not very sure of all this, then please come and reach out to me. I can definitely help you in this. So this is one of my last few slides. This is the indicative price just now, as I mentioned throughout the analysis. One bedroom starts from 1.16 million. Two bedrooms starts from 1.8 million. Three bedrooms starts from 2.45, and four bedrooms starts from $4.45 million. Once again, the square feet, these are all harmonized square footages lah. So you just remember that you need to add about 5 to 7% in terms of square footages when comparing with the existing marina layouts. Preview date is already confirmed 29 March all the way to 8 April, and then booking will be on 12 April. So this, I would say, is a very exciting launch, especially for the 1 to 2 bedroom. If you are someone with this budget and you have missed out in the previous launches like Lentor, like EOK, Nava Grove, Chuan Park, and you are thinking whether to invest in One Marina Gardens and your budget is about the 1 to 2 bedroom range, I highly recommend you to come down to take a look, because I think even without government's planning, right now the rental yield, just because of the size that Kingsford is building, makes a lot of sense for you to come in to take a look. If the township really takes off, then honestly, I think, you have so much more capital appreciation potential. I think the key question here is, will you be able to ride the same wave that those first owners in the sale did? And if that's the case and you are able to, then honestly, the sale people, they make double of what they purchased. They bought at 900 plus PSF, they sold at about 2,000 PSF. Hopefully, you are also here entering 2007 PSF and you can make double of it. So I've come to the end of One Marina Gardens analysis. This is a very special analysis because first time I've never gone through the floor plans in detail. Rather than the floor plans, the key thing as investors would be the rental yield, the figures, the numbers, because all of you buyers out here are looking at the numbers and you want to make a very rational decision. So this is why I also never talk so much about the marina transformation and things like that, because of that, I'm sure you can find all this information everywhere. I just want to break down all the numbers to you so you can understand better whether this makes sense for you. If not, I've come to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have some takeaways from this very different analysis. So please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you like all these real estate insights, I will come out with all this educational content very regularly. Please like the video and share with someone whom you think would want to know more about an investment opportunity and who has a budget of, the 1 and 2 bedroom budget that I mentioned. If not, I will see you in the next video.